But let's get this party started since we say we start on time, and we do. So first and foremost, Shelly, I would love to introduce you to my 3 and 4 star diamonds that are rock stars. Whoop, whoop. I'm so dark. Okay. Anyways, but these are my amazing coaches that work extremely hard. They're working towards big goals at the end of the year. So just kind of give you a idea of who you're speaking to. And the growling puppy. So these are my 3 and 4 star diamonds. They're so excited to have you on. And obviously you are ending our series. So you are
wow.
I know, no pressure. I'm glad I'm just telling you this now, but you're ending our 9 or our 10 weeks. And so this is a big deal. So I'm so excited for you ladies to meet Shelly. Shelly is a native to Oregon. She's married to her sweet husband, Ryan. How many years have you guys been married now?
Just celebrated 13.
Awesome. Lucky 13. So 13 years. She's obviously a dog mom. She has three little three pups, three kids. She is an avid surfer. I'm like trying to think of all, like we went to dinner and she had her surfboard in her car. Like she literally just takes it everywhere. She is a 7-star diamond, as you know, 3-time elite, 1-time premier, SC10 for the past 80 flippin' months. That right there is incredible. And she is also a PIO Live instructor. So she eats, breathes, lives nutrition, fitness. And as you can tell, she has a rockin' body. Sorry about
this. If my lower would catch up to my upper, we'd be real good. It's coming.
I'm going to say those shoulders though. So without further ado, let's have Miss Shelly Heim. So she's going to open up and talk about, Deanna and Justin are here. Cool. Laura, welcome.
Oh, hi, guys.
I love this excitement on a Wednesday morning.
I kind of sort of know Shelly.
Just sort of, yeah.
I'm glad you both are here. I don't ever see you together.
So cool. How come you're not at work? Cutting hair.
I have Wednesdays off. I get lucky.
Awesome.
So I can be here with you, Shelly. Come on.
You're so sweet, you guys.
So she has a topic, and it's about inviting. So we're going to have her start with that. We can ask her questions, but I will tell you this. I've known Shelly for many years, and she's an open book. And she will be real. She will raw with you. And one thing I love about her, you're not really any bullshit. Like, sorry, I'm saying that word and we're recording, but she's not. She's direct. She's to the point. And that's what I love about her and her leadership style. So without further ado, will you talk to us more about your inviting process and what you do to really help your coaches feel comfortable and confident with inviting?
Okay. Well, inviting was, and always, you'll hear other coaches, and I heard this on our call yesterday, Brittany, was, which makes me always feel so much better about if other people are struggling with inviting, then I'm not alone and I'm not an island. And I was surprised to hear some women yesterday speaking on inviting who I really aspire to because they're amazing, amazing top coaches in this network. And when I hear them say things like, I stood behind my computer, I sat on my hands, I expected people to come to me. And I kind of, I did have a really good, solid, warm market when I came into this. I've been a coach for 7 years. 7 years, officially kind of working the business at 6.5 years now. So I was lucky, I'm going to say that. I felt really lucky and blessed. I was a hairstylist for 30 years. I had a really strong clientele. When I found Beachbody, I was working 60 hours a week behind the chair. I owned my own salon. It was hard work that I did. And I loved my career. I didn't ever think that I'd be sitting here telling somebody today that I work Beachbody full time. When I started this, it was not on my radar at all. I just wanted to feel better. I was 43 when I found it. I was a disaster, eating crap, self-sabotage, drinking too much on the weekends. I mean, you name it, I went through it. And I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, oh my God, what the hell happened to you? And so I therefore found P90X, completely avoided the coaching opportunity, completely avoided the coach I was assigned to. So I was somebody's customer lead, and I thought I knew everything. And and maybe my invite, stigma stemmed from the fact that I didn't always feel like I had to invite. People would come to me in a sense. And the Success Club came pretty easy in the beginning. And then, we kind of hit this wall in 2016 through 2017, and mine trickles into 2018, I would say, within the network. And I needed to find some different things because I was beating my head against the wall. I felt like Success Club was becoming a huge struggle. And granted, I hope everybody on this call understands too that there's a lot of ways to earn money in Beachbody, right? But Success Club to me has always been like my baseline. Like, it keeps me on course. It keeps me on track. It's been my forever goal. And I never really want to lose sight of that. And even though I still beat heads with some of my coaches about it, and they don't see the significance like I do because they haven't had that experience that I did with Success Club, it's still super, super, super important to me to achieve that every single solitary month and to improve on my numbers. So what had been working for me, just throwing out a post from time to time, or I shouldn't say I did show up every single day, but throwing out a post daily and hoping people would comment and engage with me so I could say, hey, have you considered, or thanks for liking my post, so on and so forth. Those kind of things weren't working for me anymore. And I had to kind of find my way. And so through a lot of younger coaches, by the way, I'm 51. I'm not a young coach. I'm not going to send out hey girl messages. That is not my style. So I started paying attention to what other coaches were doing, who were a lot younger than me and having great success. And one of the things that I kind of stumbled across in the process is, do you guys ever feel this way? Like when a new program's coming out, 99% of us are not invited to the test group. We don't know much about it. We're seeing, the test group results. We're having, we're trying to learn as much as we can about it. We're paying attention to Beachbody social media, Carl's social media, so on and so forth, but we're still like confused about it. We don't really know what direction to go. We know Lift 4 is, 4 days a week. We've heard that. We've seen great results. But what is the program really, really about? And who do we talk to? Because that's really important. Trying to not just talk to people in your niche and get the message out, reaching people and letting people know if this program is right for them on a lot of different spectrums. And so when To Be Mindset came out this year, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I don't understand this program. There wasn't a lot of content on it that had been released. I was like, it just sounds like a free-for-all. Is that like, who do I want to talk to? Do I want to tell people they can just eat whatever they want and have results? Like, is that really real? And so I went into this little thing we have that is provided for us in our Coach Online office called the Product Tools and Shareable Media Kits. And I honestly had kind of gone in there before in my career, but not really. And maybe it was because the change in the Coach Online office, it's much more accessible, it's much more streamlined. But I looked at that product toolkit for To Be Mindset, and every single question I had was answered in that toolkit. And so I developed an invite process that was really, really, I kind of even blew my own mind when I did it. And I knew, and I was like, oh my gosh, this isn't just going to be for me. My coaches can totally do this. And it was all based on the product toolkit. The questions I asked, who was I targeting? Who is this program for? And also the promotional videos, the shareable media. Maybe I didn't want to use the exact images that Beachbody provided, but I got ideas to create my own images if I wanted to. And it just went on and on and on. And then boom, from there, you guys have probably all heard this, Facebook comes out with the social learning group tool. And so I was like, I'm going to create an info group. And because what is a lot of our struggles our coaches have are how to talk about price, how to talk about objections. And so I developed this info snoop group based around To Be Mindset that helped my coaches and helped me too, because I still have those obstacles like that hold me back, where it comes to, okay, how much is it? I avoid that question as much as I can until we get to a stronger point in our relationship. And I say, okay, this is what this is what it's going to cost you. This is what you get. This is what you're going to pay. And so putting all that information in that social learning group really helped my coaches kind of have an out. It's like, direct them to that unit that says, this is what it's going to cost you. These are your options. And so we had a hugely successful launch with To Be Mindset based on the invite process. I was really, really proud of it. I shared it throughout the network. I still have it if you guys want it. It's super, super simple. Of course, you can reword things and so on, but I share scripts on how to ask people the right questions, get to know where they're at with their mindset as far as nutrition goes, and then how to answer, their concerns. Like they pick A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I struggle with this. I struggle with this. I struggle with this. And then within that product toolkit, you have the answers to those questions. You don't even have to come up with your own answers. They're all right there for you. So it made the process really easy. I hit the most Success Club points I'd hit in several years since the 21-day fix launch in my business that month in May. And then in June, when we started talking about Lift 4 and June, July, I created the same exact invite process for Lift 4, but I think it was even a little bit better because I had already done it once. And I have all that for you too, if you guys want to see it. I set up another info group for Lift 4, and we put people in there. We rally around the programs in those SNP groups, and we post kind of like we're posting in our support success group as participants. We share our struggles in that SNP group. In those SNP groups, we share our victories. We share what other people in the group, our customers and clients, are achieving. Their first wins with the program, so on and so forth within that group. So the people in there who are on the fence, like, they get daily reinforcement about what the program can do for them. And I will tell you, some are still in there that have been sitting on the fence for, what are we now, 6 months in or something like that, 5 months in from To Be Mindset, but they're still noticing, they're still seeing the posts, and I follow up with them. Are you ready? I ask them, are you ready yet? Have you, can we answer any more questions? And, they're like, I'm just going to sit in here for a little while and keep watching, or they jump right on board. It depends on how it plays out, but it's been a really safe place for my coaches and my team, my downline, to invite their customers to, or their potential customers to, and share in a really non-threatening, non-conflicting, feel icky, send out 5,000 private messages kind of way. So from there, with the Lift 4, that's still going on. Now we have another launch pretty much happening, right, with Lift 4, because it's going to drop into our member libraries on October 1st. So we're kind of starting the process all over again. How we talk about it, how we ask, sharing our results, trying to get people into those SNP groups, and it's just super, super effective. And then what's coming up next is the Proving Grounds, and I was in the Shift Shop test group. I was so blessed to be in that group, and the official test group, I should say. And with Proving Grounds coming out, I'm still confused about it. Even though I was in the test group, and even though, Chris and I text message every week, I'm not like quite grasping it. I just checked today to see if it was in the product toolkit, and it's not yet, but it will be. Promise, it will be coming. Beachbody won't leave that behind. But I went in there today, and I was looking around, and of course, I clicked on the Shift Shop test group because I thought maybe they just slid it into that category. But I was reading the Shift, and they didn't. It's not there yet. But I was reading the Shift Shop product toolkit, and I was like, I was in the test group, and I didn't ask these questions that are so amazing for people provided to us for Beachbody. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't reinvent the wheel. If you have any doubts or any worry about how you're going to share any upcoming programs, that product toolkit is gold. And you may not resonate with every single solitary person to target in the category they give you, the categories they give you in there, but you can pick one that you resonate with and then run with that and say, look, mamas, if you have a busy life, this is, this product, this program can change it for you. It's 2 hours a week working out with Lift 4. Who doesn't have time for that? So I encourage you guys to get in there and look at it. And I'm very, very happy to share like I said, my 2 invite processes so far. They're pretty streamlined. I set them up so that you can, so it's like I'm talking to a new coach, or I'm talking to a coach on how I give instructions on this is what you do. This is how, one by one by one by one. So it's really easy, including the strips, including the downloadable videos. And a link to my group, of course, for our Snoop group, but create, learn about who's doing the social learning tabs. Anyone, you guys using those? Because they're so valuable. They're such a great, great, great tool, even to set up for your challenge groups. So now from there, it just it was something that happened evolving from that invite process that I've been praying about for a couple years, because I wanted to build more community within our team. And by having those Snoop groups, it kind of gave everybody an invitation to just have more community and help each other. And so now what evolved from there was we have two team groups. We have our 2B Mindset group, which is more nutrition focused. And then we have what we call our Beachbody On Demand group. Basically, for that group, the only requirement is that they have Beachbody On Demand, but we just roll out the new programs within that group. So we went from 80-day obsession to Lift 4, and there's people not doing those programs, but there's people doing those programs. So it's just evolving, and it's evergreen. So if somebody comes into our Beachbody On Demand group they're starting Lift 4 tomorrow, they will never feel left behind, because the units are set up with a daily post from prep week to week 8 for them to follow, and we direct them to that. There's a unit set up right away to where the first unit they see is how to access their Beachbody On Demand, from hooking up your phone to your computer, to Apple TV, to Roku, to the unboxing of your program, to how to find your program on Beachbody on Demand, so on and so forth. So in a sense, it's made our jobs as coaches on our team a lot easier, because we're not like having to send the same message and the same video and the same how-tos to every single person that joins that group, or that we try to help with a program. It's all right there for them. If they struggle with finding the units, if they're a little bit technically challenged, then we can, help them privately and direct them in the right place. But for the most part, what I've seen has happened is, therefore, everybody on our team is more willing to coach within those groups. They're not spending so much time working with people one-on-one, holding their hand, trying to get them set up. And they have more time. These coaches have more time to go out and follow up and invite and do the 4 vital behaviors every day, without spending hours and hours and hours trying to create challenge groups, trying to get people to engage. It's just created a bunch of amazing energy within our team and our team groups, and more community within our team as far as coaches go, in helping each other help each other people, if that makes sense.
It totally does. And they have a ton of questions. So I'm just going to ask you, ladies and gents, to go ahead and unmute yourself and just have a conversation, if you don't mind.
I didn't look at the chat box. So
one question I have, Shelly, this sounds like so amazing. First of all, this is like up my alley to have everything in one place. But even, so what I've been doing this month is adding people to my Lift 4 test group. And even if they're not going to do Lift 4, because that's where everyone is and that's where all the excitement is. So it makes, so you have everybody in a group, and then you have like a 21-day fix unit, you have a Lift 4 unit, that type of thing.
You know, I don't have those other units in place.
Okay.
We just have Lift 4 because when we did 80-day obsession, we did it as a team in that group. And it just was such an amazing group that I didn't want to end it. And so I turned it into a bod group. So, and I didn't have the wherewithal at the time to set those daily posts up for 80-day obsession in that group. But I did, once we did Lift 4, I was like, okay, we're storing all of these posts in the unit so that when people come in, they have them right there at their fingertips. So you could certainly roll in all those units. It's just, it would take some time. But I would say.
So they post daily in the unit then?
No, well, my group is set up kind of funny. So they can go to the units, right? And look at their daily post, no matter what day they start on for Lift 4. But they engage on the discussion wall. So I have daily check-ins for Shakeology. Did you get your workout in? Post your selfie below. I have a daily night check-in. How did your day go? Rate it from 1 to 10. And by the way, that is a pretty spectacular thing I have access to that I was given by Chelsea and Rob Pearson. It's 100 daily check-ins, and their images, and their all they are is like motivational quotes. But every single solitary day, and they're color coded by, I think every 7 days you get a different color.
Oh my gosh.
Those out 100 days ahead, and they just roll in, and nobody gets sick of them. You know, it's really cool. So I'll share that with you guys as well. It's a Google Doc. It's like, this network is so amazing, isn't it? It's like, I wanted to do that for 5 years. Thank you, Chelsea. You know, and it's way better than I could have ever done myself. So that's kind of how our group rolls in. I try to keep it a little streamlined so that the check-ins don't get all jumbled up and different things. And some people don't check in under the specific post; they just post, and that's cool too. But I just like, the more posts, the merrier. You know, up to this point, nobody's ever complained about it being too much information. And then when we were between Lift 4 and 80-day obsession, I took turns with my coaches. We all took a week, and we pushed out the multi-program challenge group daily posts. And so it was just super general, you know, but really good information. If you haven't looked at that stuff in a while, it's all been updated. They're really amazing posts. So just, you know, we don't reinvent the wheel. Now that we're kind of past the 8-week mark for round 1 of 80-day obsession, round 1 of Lift 4, what we're doing is each coach is taking another week, and we're just doing what's on our heart. Sharing what's on our heart. It could be a recipe. It could be a motivational quote. It could be anything they choose, you know, just to keep those daily posts coming. And then with any new program coming out, when we roll it into that group, then I'll go ahead and store those daily posts in the units, but I'm not going to backtrack. It would be too much work. And I don't want to pay my assistant to do that. She needs to do other stuff. So.
One more quick question, and then I'll let other people ask questions. How do you create, because I feel like one of the reasons we do new challenge groups every month is because we're like, yay, this is a new exciting thing you want to get in on. We're doing this or a theme or whatever it is to create kind of like urgency to essentially like meet our numbers and not be, you know, straggling along at the end of the month or whatnot. How do you create, I guess, urgency to help your coaches also get people into the group and not just have lots of lollygaggers that are on the fence. Like there's no, I feel like, you know, sometimes if you're like, you have to join by tomorrow to be in our challenge group that starts next week or whatnot, then you get, so how do you create that when you have just an ongoing challenge group?
Excuse me, I have allergies, but so we, I have a 3 message pods thread, one with my leaders who basically have chosen to do this group with me, and there's several of us in there, and then one with my baby coaches that I'm coddling right now, or coaches who think they might want to work the business. And then another one is I'm involved in a push group right now called the Firefly Project with a bunch of other coaches. And so I have a message pod for those people. And I just go into those message pods and say, and like, I create the urgency for my coaches by saying, look, you guys, we're winding down. It's, you know, September 12th. And if you guys are struggling with Success Club points, or, you know, you want to get some more people in, let's talk about it. Let's, you know, who's having great success right now? What are you doing? Who's not having success? I want to know what you're struggling with. And within those message pods, we just come up with a solution. And one thing we did was, you know, you go through the motions and you're doing your program and you're feeling really good about everything. And you've had great, you know, good success with the launch. And then all of a sudden you're like, you're losing traction. And August was tough, right? It was tough for me. I didn't hit my numbers like I did earlier in the year. September, I'm sitting at 4 right now, you know, so I got to kick it into gear and figure out, you know, how to get more people on board. So one thing, you know, I said was, let's go back to what was working, because we exhausted a dead horse, but we had a great launch with the posts we did at launch time. So let's go back to those. Go back into your social media and look and see what posts you were inviting with that got the most attraction. And a lot of them for Lift 4 was, you know, this basic little emoji post that I put out. The other thing, you know, for questions to ask people, are you struggling? You know, do you there's like 5 of them. Do you want to do activity? Do you want to have a life, you know, and results? Do you want a simple plan? Do you want to take your results to the next level? Are you afraid of getting bulky, but you want results? You know, those are all things in the product toolkit. So we went back to that invite process. And then the other thing that worked really well for us, you guys, is people like free crap, right? So Beachbody gave us that free sample workout from Lift 4, like a whole workout, 33 minutes long. Did you guys see that? 33 minutes long. I downloaded that sucker and I put it in the info group. Took forever to download it, took forever to upload it. It didn't take that long to download it, I don't think, but it took forever to upload it into Facebook, and I didn't think it was going to work, and it did. And so we say, you know, if you're struggling, you know, if you can relate to these 5 things, we have a free workout sample for you. Comment below, or, you know, shoot me a message if you want to try the free workout. And that created a huge amount of engagement, and still is. So like, and so when I message people, you know, what we do is we're like, we're going to give you this fruit. Before I send you the link for the free workout, can you please give me a little bit of information on where you are at with your fitness mindset? And then I have those emojis, and you'll see them when I share that with Brittany. The ones, you know, that they can relate to. So it's super, super simple. That was a huge, huge hit for us. That workout is still stored there. I don't know if it's in the back office anymore. I actually don't think it is. But Joel went live with the free workout, right? He did a free workout on Beachbody 411. It was a complete sample workout, the whole workout. I think there was a point where we broke the internet or something. We lost a little bit of traction with it, but it's still on the Beachbody On Demand page. Do you guys know, or excuse me, the 411 page, do you guys know how to download a video from Facebook? A live video? Okay. So you go in, you can right click on the live video, and it'll say show Facebook URL. So you highlight that, you have to copy and paste that into a browser. Like Safari is the one I use because it doesn't quite work on Chromecast anymore, but I've heard it works on Firefox, and I've heard it works on, or I know it works on Safari. You replace the www with M. Enter, press enter, and the video will pop up, and it'll look like a really weird format. It's really like long and rectangular, and it takes up the whole screen. You click on full screen, and you click on play, and then the video will start playing, and then you right click again, and you can save that video to your desktop, laptop, not your phone. And then you download it, you upload it, you can upload it into your info group. So it's right there for you. So, and then I pin that group as an announcement to the top of the info group page. And when we invite them to the group, we welcome them. We do a big welcome post, and we direct them to find that workout. Here's your workout. You can view it. You can do it. You can do whatever you want with it. And then we direct them to the units, and we specify, look, it's going to take you about 20 minutes to get through the units. I make sure they know how long it's going to take them because, they'll look and they'll go, I'm out. This looks like it's going to be totally confusing. And then I just make sure that everybody understands they need to follow up with those people in a private message. But that was really, so going back to kind of the beginning, think about, your launches with Lift 4 and what you did that brought you success. Sometimes we just have to kind of go, okay, wait a minute, what worked? And there's things that worked for me for a long time that don't work anymore, and I had to stop beating my head against the wall with the same old sugar group I did for many years. I called it Cut the Crap. I had to change that up. I got freaking bored with it. It was like, it was stupid to try and keep doing the same thing over and over. But with a program launch like this, you may need to tweak some posts a little bit, but getting that excitement back up, that urgency back up. I'm so rambling. I'm so sorry. I hope I answered your question. But, it's just kind of going back to what worked in the beginning. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. At least try it a couple more times, right? And because it worked. And then as time goes by and we have new programs coming out, I kind of feel like right now, I love all Beachbody programs. But Lift 4 has kind of been I've been searching for a program like this for a really long time and didn't know it. And so I kind of feel like this is my forever program. So over the next year or two or whatever happens, I'm still going to use those same tools that I developed in the beginning to help people to not everybody sees your stuff. I remember thinking, I can't post this again. I can't ask these same questions again. But you know what? It's like I heard Lindsay Matway say once, I am so sick of hearing my story over and over and over again. But there are so many new people who follow me who've never heard it. So you have to keep telling your stuff. You have to keep telling it. You can tell it in a different way, but, just pumping up the excitement, saying, hey guys, look, this is going to be amazing again. We have this whole new launch coming up. Let's strategize. Let's get you, let's go back to the beginning, find those posts that work for you. And now you're going to have results to show for it. So, that's excitement. I've gotten a lot of traction on my results. I was, probably the most profound results I've had actually with Beachbody was with Lift 4.
So flipping good. Okay, let's keep asking questions. And Jessica made a good point over to the right. So there's only, you kind of made me want to throw up when you said this, but 110 days left in 2018. Right? It's like, but it'd be perfect to start in 10 days. So I love that. What other questions do you have for Shelly? Unmute yourself. We only have about 15 minutes left. So let's make sure that we utilize our time and ask her any other questions, even if it isn't about inviting. Jess, go ahead. I saw you unmute yourself.
I was just going to say, so one of the areas that I'm really trying to focus on myself is helping my coaches at Success Club. And do you feel like since you implemented these scripts and this specific invite strategy with your coaches, has that been something that's really helped them hit Success Club? Or can you identify something in your business that's really helped either motivate them or make them feel empowered to grow their network and reach out to people?
Well, I'm going to be really honest and transparent with you. That's been my biggest struggle for the last 2 years, is getting my coaches to hit Success Club. And I will tell you that through this launch process, I may not have had a lot of coaches actually hit Success Club 5, but they were freaking on the board. First time in a long time, or first time ever, or new coaches making wins right off the bat. So, and am I disappointed that I don't have more coaches hitting Success Club right now? Absolutely, I am. And and Brittany and I have talked about it. I've talked about it with other leaders. It's a constant subject that comes up in some of our corporate groups. And it's the fact that we can't flip and get these coaches to hit Success Club. But I'm taking 1 or 2 points, or 2 to 4 points as a win for me at this point. Just helping them, meet them where they're at, encouraging them. Going back to the basics too of when I was hitting elite every year, and what I was doing, and it all came down to, gosh darn it, I just loved on them. I just loved them, and I just breathed belief in them. And so, my goals in the company have changed a little bit, and it just feels good again to have people hitting. So I do, yes, think it helped tremendously. And I feel like a failure sometimes because it's like, I'm such a strong Success Club earner. I don't understand why I'm not, why people aren't following in my shoes, in a sense, but I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to give up on them. And I'm constantly going to be rebuilding and recruiting and trying to find more people. Like those processes don't ever stop for me. So I feel like I'm definitely in a renovating mode. And I think for me, I'm okay with that. Like I'm not going to go as fast as some coaches. I'm not going to go as slow as some coaches, but I'm okay with where I'm at, and expressing gratitude every single day and celebrating those people on the board just as much as I would if they were to hit Success Club, and empowering them to just, okay, let's set that next goal. Let's get to 5. You're so close. I just keep on keeping on. And I wish I could tell you a magic answer. And I think too, sometimes it comes down to a numbers game. How many coaches are you recruiting? Look back at your percentages. How many are actually hitting Success Club? How many are not? Like that might ease your mind a little bit, and also might make you push a little bit harder in recruiting more people. Even if they're discount coaches, getting them in those challenge groups, getting them results, because that's where truly the magic lies, is when people start noticing other people's results, whether they had any inclination of doing this business or not.
Shelly, I want to thank you really quick on that for being so transparent, because I think a lot of times we hear like, oh my gosh, my tribe is so amazing. We're all like killing it. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why is my tribe not killing it? And, or you have to double whatever you double, your coaches are going to do half of. Okay, well, I'm hitting, I can hit 30 and 40, and then I'm celebrating when somebody hits 2. And so for you to share that, it makes me feel less alone, because I think it's so easy to see everybody else and start comparison, even though we know it's bad to do. But to hear like the reality that like not everybody is having this amazing thing, and it's a struggle. And I find that refreshing. That actually motivates me more than hearing that everybody is killing it. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah. And you guys, I will be honest with you. Like, Brittany will tell you, I rarely drop below 5-star. I feel so blessed with the solid diamonds that I have. Like, and they came from past, like, they've been with me on this bus for a long time, and they're hitting Success Club like they always do. But the ones that count for elite points, 2017, 2018, I have 3 points in that category this year. 3 points. All my elite points have come from, what's that first one, Brittany? The customer conversion, the
APV, or new coaches with 1 or more SE points?
No, AP. I think it's
APV.
AP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The new customer category, basically. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm some rock star when in that category. I am not. And I have questioned and felt like a failure. And every week I have to like go into my head and do my personal development and stop myself from feeling bad about it and just move the frick forward and go, you know what? Eventually something will flip, and to know that, I'm truly doing, a lot and more so than I have in many years, and leading by example and getting back to my invite process, like, and not, like I said, I'm not going to send out random "Hey girl" messages. I cannot do that. And every time I try, it blows up in my face. It's not my voice. So I'm going to, one thing we heard yesterday from Lauren Fitzgerald, which was brilliant to me, was going back into my past groups. I have so many groups that I have not archived, that I have not closed out, that still has every single member in there, and inviting them that way. That gives you entitlement to say, hey, look, we worked together in the past. How are you? I haven't heard from you, or I apologize for not connecting with you. Have you seen this new program, or getting them back into a free group, whatever that is. But maybe, for me, it's messaging people and inviting people who already kind of have a little bit of trust in me. That's my new strategy. It's not, okay, I'm going to try once again to send out a "Hey girl" message, because it doesn't work for me. Just doesn't. I'm 51 years freaking old. People do not respond in my niche to "Hey girl" at all.
Well, and I feel like we even talked about this yesterday so much. It was like, what do you want from me? Like, and it's like people, when you start like all these "Hey girls," it's like, just tell me what you want. Like, we all are, everybody's trying to reach out to us for something. Just get to the freaking point. But I love that. I just, it makes me giggle because I get "Hey girls," and so and I'm like, hey, did you not? And then I always go in and I see, I'm like, who's this? Who's there up line? Like, check out who you're "Hey girling. So it makes me giggle. But okay, we had time.
If it's working for you, then keep doing it, as long as it does. But I had to like stop making myself. I was like, I'm missing out on the "Hey girls," and it's like I felt so much FOMO, and now I feel JOMO, the joy of missing out, rather than the fear of missing out. Because I found my own voice again. And yeah. And the other thing I always go back to is, I tell my coaches to be a resource. Like Melanie Mitro says that all the time. In the beginning, she was just a resource. And I can't tell you, how much I've leveraged that and didn't know it. Like, and I still get messages to this day, hey, I need a clean pot roast recipe, because I posted 5,000 of them. So people, know that I share those things openly and without any, what's it called? Without any expectations of somebody, I just share stuff like without wanting anything in return.
Well, and it's genuine and it shows.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 2 more questions, and then I'm going to ask the golden question. So, right? Ooh.
I'm scared.
Oh, don't be scared. You know the question. It's easy.
Oh my God, I'm sweating. I'm nervous. Is there any questions in the chat?
I'm going to call it. Yeah, Stacy, go.
Okay, real quick, Shelly, thanks for being on today. It's been so awesome and so refreshing because my business is in total renovation mode. So I am glad to hear that I'm not alone. Real quick, so when you have, I just had a new coach sign up and she's super great. She didn't have a coach. She had just signed up for 80-day, didn't even do Shaco, and lost 25 pounds and was getting a ton of feedback at work, and she's in the nursing industry. And so she did our sneak peek, signed up, was super excited. Like, I didn't even really have to follow up with her much. She just, was like, I'm ready. I'm just going to do this. I have nothing to lose. And so I loved her energy. And So we had our one-on-one call, or, getting started right call, and I showed her the new coach training, and she's like, I'm so nervous to post. And I'm like, oh my goodness, girl. Like when I first posted my transformation post, my hand was shaking. I did the whole relation thing with, I'm like, I can relate. I felt that before. I even shut my computer, and didn't look at it for 7 hours after I posted my before and after. Like, I was like, this is real. This is not like this is a real fear. So anywho, she has kind of been ghosting me. And so the last message was, I always love, like, are you okay? Is everything okay? After you've sent maybe 2 messages checking in and following up and asking, hey, I'll post it as a Transformation Tuesday if you're real nervous, and then I'll tag you. So it's not you posting it, it's me. But is there anything that you found when a new coach starts like that and they're so excited and ready, and then they go bye-bye? Do you kind of just like give them space, or?
I never stop reaching out, and I guess, I just am probably really honest and say, look, I don't want this to feel weird, and I want to help you, and I want you to feel comfortable. And, it could be anything. Here's my biggest piece of advice because we can make up stories in our head about what that person is going through, right? So I learned this from Mel Robbins. If you haven't listened to Kick Ass with Mel Robbins, you probably should do that. It's freaking amazing. It's only available on Audible. And I learned to do this a while ago, but I never had a word for it or a phrase for it, but it's called assume positive intent. So rather than because that's going to hold you back. If you go, oh my God, she hates this. She's fearful. She's ghosting me. What did I do wrong? Was it too pushy? Was it too much? Was she not ready? Blah, 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 blah. I used to if my husband was late, I'd be like, okay, he's got his second family and he's probably putting his other kids to bed. And, he's got this whole other marriage and life, and because he was freaking a half hour late. It's so when he walked in the door, I was like, how's your family? It's ridiculous. And so to assume positive intent with somebody, it's just assume positive intent and just pray about it and keep, her a little bit. So just watch your approach. Maybe re-invite her to something, a team call, just something, but just say, hey, look, I just want to be really honest with you, and I don't know why you're not returning my messages, and I just want you to know that there's no pressure, there's no obligation. If you want to take a step back from this and just focus on yourself, that's super groovy too, but meet them where they're at. I found in 2016 or 17, Brittany, that was this last year was the first year I didn't hit elite in 3 years. And I found that I was pushing people too much, and they were disappearing because I was pushing and pushing and pushing. And I promised myself I would never do that again. And I would meet them where they're at. So as her friend and not her coach, or, as her coach and maybe not her business coach, but her challenger coach, her personal fitness and health coach, approach it that way and take it back to her. What does she need? Meet her where she's at. She might just need to get a couple workouts under her belt again and feel good about herself. And, somebody in her family could have died. You just don't know what's going on,
Yeah, for sure.
I wish I had a more definite answer, but
no, I just sometimes like to hear, I just like to hear what you think.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm going to call out one last person. Oh, and they jumped off. I'm yelling at your husband right now, Deanna. She's like, honey!
He's still in the house.
I'm telling. I was like, they're calling you out. We actually have a team call at 10 o'clock that he's prepping for. So.
Oh, that makes sense. I just wanted to see if having a guy on here, obviously, I wanted to see if he had any questions.
I actually did have a question.
Go!
But I don't know if you're gonna have time. I wanted to know about your invite process for Instagram, or if you're utilizing Instagram or Facebook. Since you don't do the behavioral stuff, it's really like it's interesting.
Instagram has been a tough animal for me. I'm learning it. I'm not. Again, honesty. I have hired Jumper Media to help me with it. So I'm building my account now, and I'm still struggling. Like Facebook is so my jam. I can't, it's hard for me to get into the Instagram mindset. And so I'm getting messages. I'm starting to message people who comment. I'm starting to, I just did a call to action post today. And the other thing I'm doing with Instagram is it's actually on my to-do list today. I'm going to go in and start messaging the people. I'm going to just pick 10 people and who watch my stories, who aren't coaches, who aren't a product brand, or, somebody that I can relate with, and just thank them for watching my stories and for the support, to open up some dialogue there. So that's kind of my strategy at this point with Instagram. I also need to stand out in a noisy world with Instagram. I think we all do. How am I going to do that? I'm 51. I'm not going to show my bikini ass on Instagram. Like, that's not who I am. So I have, if you go to my Instagram, it's kind of, I'm really vulnerable about it, but I'm making the posts, my feed look like a magazine. I'm using all the same filter. I'm having so much fun with it. It's like my passion project, right? And then in my stories, I'm trying to be better about being fun and talking about the products. And I've done a couple business call to actions or business videos in my stories. It's been fun. I have taken Amy Silverman's approach with Instagram, which is post like you have 1 million followers. Post like 1 million people are watching your stories. And so, and then again, my approach, what is speaking to my heart about Instagram, is just the same way as I approach Facebook, being a resource, telling people, not necessarily inviting them to a challenge group or anything like that, but saying, hey, if you need a clean recipe, thanks for watching my stories. If you need a clean recipe, let me know. Or I'll ask questions. Joy, I can't remember Joy's last name. It starts with a B. She had a great invite process, or just talking to people. It's like, what are you doing for workouts? Just being curious about them. How's your nutrition? Or, do you do a meal replacement? Little questions like that through my private messages on Instagram, that basically I'm at the point of just starting conversation with people who follow me. And I get a lot of menopause people, right? So it's gloom and doom. Because, you guys saw my hot flashes at the last Super Saturday. I think it was insane. So, I wish I had a better answer for you. I do, but.
No, that was awesome. And I absolutely love the be a resource part. I heard her say that before, so that's epic. That
and
just
everybody's
everything.
Yeah. And I get the messages from coaches who don't go to my feed and look at my, whatever, or look at a post and are like, hey, you want to join my team? So I refuse to be like that, because it drives me freaking crazy. Like, no, I have a team, thanks. I'm always very nice, but it's just, look at my feed. So paying attention to other people, like where they're at in their life on their Instagram, like asking them a question. Like the other day I had a girl, she talked about a blue line. She was a blue line wife, and I didn't know what that meant. And so I asked her, I was like, what the heck's a blue line? And she's like, oh, my husband's a police officer. I had no idea what that meant. And they're just the cutest little couple. And now I have a nice little relationship with her. So, going on their stuff, and I want to know things about what they're talking about. I just don't want to go off and invite them to something right away without even going, oh my gosh, you live in Oregon? You take pictures of sunsets too? That's freaking beautiful. So, really it's just like Facebook, paying attention to who they are. I'm going to be so embarrassed if I invite somebody to a challenge group and they're already a coach. Julie Boris, want to join my team, Julie?
That would be pretty epic. Thank you. Thanks, Deanna, for grabbing him. I wanted to make sure that he got his question answered. That's awesome. So the golden question, what would you say to these leaders to finish the year strong, to go towards their goals? Any last parting words to really encourage them to work hard towards that year-end goal?
Well, what you're doing now and what you're going to do in the next, when we're finishing this quarter at the end of the month. So what we've heard it, and it's been proven time and time again over the last 6.5, 7 years of my Beachbody career, is what we do now is going to set us up for 2019. And just be intentional, show up every single day, love your coaches, love them, love them, love them, breathe love and belief into them. I also would encourage you to encourage them to participate in anything leadership. Ask them to speak on a team call. Even somebody who's not, maybe very confident in that area. Confidence is huge. I would stay on course with no comparing. I would stay on course with staying in your own lane. I had to follow a bunch of coaches this year, unfollow, because I just couldn't get in my own words out there. And I was trying to duplicate and emulate. And I remember in 2012 at my first summit, and all I wanted to do was come home and be Barbie Decker and dye my hair black. So, you just can't do those things. You stay in your lane. Invite, we've got a lot of amazing things to look forward to in this company towards the end of the year. Be careful with pumpkin spice, launch, so that people aren't disappointed. Start creating some urgency in that, getting people's carts set up properly, figuring out really how you want to end this year and doing some reverse engineering for yourself. Brittany can help you with that. It's just going back, just stay in the basics, you guys. Don't try to branch out and do anything crazy. It's a crucial time to stay focused. Stay focused on your personal journey too. Don't get derailed. Stay on track. I did a really good, amazing training this year for myself that I really stuck to, that made me go in deep into what I truly want for myself. And I'm not good at those things. I usually just skim the surface, but I really gave this one a chance. It was called the Desire Map. And figuring out what my core desires are every single day. The one that came up was, I want to be athletically strong and I want to be in the best shape of my life, whether I'm 43 or 85. And so by writing those things down every single day, it's amazing what happens when you do that. And when your affirmations are really strong and true to your heart, and how things start to evolve. My Lift 4 results blew my mind, and I didn't feel like I was having results. And when I took those pictures on day 60, I was athletically strong, in the best shape of my life. I'm achieving that. I want to be financially free. I want to release a lot of this debt that I have. I'm in the snowball effect, and I didn't even consciously know I was. So those things are super, super powerful. Don't ever lose sight of the power you have within you. Stay strong in your personal development.
So beautifully said. You just always melt my heart. I could just talk to you all day long. You're just your presence. So you're welcome, but strong words. And I know that's exactly what you are doing. So I know that you're not only going to say it, but you are living it. So thank you. You are living it. Thank you so much. Such an incredible call today. Please send me whatever you would like me to share.
I'll do
that. We truly value your time. So thank you so much.
And you guys, like Brittany said, I am here. If you private message me, I'm going to accept your message request, and I will answer anything you need to know. I have a great sugar detox group. I'm very willing to share.
So amazing. Okay. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you all for staying on. I really, truly appreciate you. Replay will be up shortly. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, Deanna.
Bye.